Hello subscribers and non-subscribers, welcome to another episode of Tom Clancy's EndWar. Yeah, so we have the option of defending Istra for the second time ever. Third time we fought there, if we do defend it. We have the option of defending Wilstermarsch, which when I tried to defend it in the first recording, which was messed up because for whatever reason, my headphones decided at one point to sort of stop functioning, and I forgot to go and set DxTory properly to set up the audio input and output. That didn't go well at all, but I think it's because to a degree I was kind of slow, and I also didn't expect the enemy to capture certain objectives. Like, for example, they went to Zulu, I think it was. That's not an objective that I thought they would go for. I figured, hey, that's sort of on my side of the map, so the enemy's not going to go for it. They did. So, yeah. That was kind of unexpected, and that kind of screwed everything up for me. We could go and attack Lecito, which would, in this case, I believe, cut off Force Recon for the Europeans. While if I were to defend Wilstermarsch and succeed, I'd be able to go to Ramstein, which I believe is an air base. Actually, the game might even just straight up give me Ramstein, which again I believe is an air base, in which case that would cut off air support. And I will say this right now, Wilstermarsch and Lecito are not exactly the most, or well, I would say they're not the easiest places to defend. Not because of terrain, but if I pull this up.
In Western Europe, we're going to assault Lecito Army Base.
So in
We're
my
making
case,
moves in multiple sectors. Multiple uplink sites are under attack.
Are you done, Mitchell? Thanks. In my case, attacking Lecito is a pain because I don't have any support, while the Europeans have force recon and air support. Wilstermarsch, I get force recon, but the Europeans still get force recon and air support. Again, not the easiest. I can go and attack Matera to take it from the Russians. I get force recon, the Russians get diddly squat. Reason being, they have no bases in the general vicinity. They're essentially close enough to be able to support. Istra?
In Eastern Europe, the enemy's moving against our uplink sites.
Thank you, Mitchell. I could have explained that myself. But in this case, I get force recon. Again, the Russians get nothing. If I actually pull back, you can sort of see the nearest base that the Russians control is over here in Sevastopol, which has essentially no quick connections to any of the Russian territories that I can either attack or defend. So the Russians are kind of SOL. They've reached a point where they can't really get support anywhere. If they had Fort Levski down here, they would actually be able to get support, because that would provide them support to Istra and Matera, because that is where I'm getting my support for both of those. And I'm not actually sure where I'm getting... Oh, my support for Wilstermarsch is coming from Copenhagen, in this case. So it's one of those... I've got options where I would be pretty much guaranteed a victory in the form of Matera and Istra. I've got a fight that is a bit of a pain in the arse, but not necessarily impossible, up here in Wilstermarsch. While if I head on down to Lecito, that's basically, I am just straight up at a disadvantage. It's like the game's going, you know what? Theoretically you can win it, but you're probably not going to. But we're still going to give it to you as an option. So I'm not going to touch Lecito. I'm going to try to defend Wilstermarsch. and I made sure that DX3 is set up properly this time, so I should have no issues. And hopefully things go according to my plan, but honestly, I don't know. But in theory, if I successfully defend Wilstermarsch, I should get Ramstein, just sort of as the way the game works. You get, as the US, essentially when you successfully defend an area, you get sort of the next territory. Though, of course, I don't know. The game may decide, well, you know, the enemy was attacking from Ramstein, but we're not going to give you Ramstein. We're going to give you Rosenberg. Rosenberg is an absolutely worthless territory for me because, well, it's not a base, so it doesn't cut off support for anyone. And while sure, it has a direct connection to Paris, so does Ramstein, and same with Lecito. So hopefully the game doesn't give me Rosenberg if I manage to successfully defend Wilstermarsch. But we'll see. But that's what we're going to do. We are going to defend Wilstermarsch, and hopefully things work out.
In Western Europe.
And I will let, I guess, our intelligence officer or whatever give us the details.
Intel, Major Dennison.
Yes, General. Wilstermarsch, Germany. Our task would be to repel in forces assaulting by air to grab our uplinks here. Forcecom would be able to give us ground support as needed. We'd be fighting without the benefit of air support. The enemy would have air cover. The enemy would be able to call in regular army units to defend key locations. The terrain features a lot of obstructions.
Okay, so that's that. Let's go ahead and I'll let you see the map itself, actually.
Colonel, the enemy wants to grab the uplinks in this sector. They're coming in full tilt, but you're gonna be there to meet them. The Euros don't take kindly to our occupation of their territory. Expect a determined assault. Your opponent is once again Colonel Alain Duberry of Enforcers Battle Group 10 Tactical. The last time you fought him, he beat you. He's thinking he'll have it easy today. Whether he's right or wrong is up to you. The war is going our way, Colonel, but it's not over yet. Victory will be won day by day and hour by hour. What you achieve today matters. Mitchell out.
Okay, so first things first, I now have a different enemy commander. When I fought here the first time, I was fighting some random guy whom I had, I guess, not fought yet, because Mitchell here didn't say anything about having fought him before, and that guy was from an armored battle group. And this time we're fighting this guy, who I guess was defending Lecito when we attacked or attempted to raid there originally, because that's the only battle I can recall losing, so yeah. But let's see. So my original plan was I would secure Alpha, Bravo, Zulu, and then me and the Europeans would essentially fight over Delta. The AI, last time they decided, hey, you know what? We're going to secure Foxtrot, Sierra, Zulu, which kind of messed up my plan because I figured, okay, well, I'll get sort of the north side of the map, they'll get the south side of the map, and we'll just sort of duke it out in the middle. And, well, the AI was like, nope, I know that's your plan. I'm going to not allow your plan to work out exactly. So I had to suddenly switch it. So now that I know that that's probably what's going to happen, I'm not going to really try for Zulu. I'm going to go Alpha, Bravo, Yankee. We'll hopefully duke it out for Delta. I would love to secure Delta before they do, honestly, but I don't know if that'll be possible. But considering the proximity between Bravo and Zulu, it's not really a bad option either. But it's still, all in all, a bit of a pain with how that worked out last time. So hopefully it works out the way I would love for it to work out now that I've sort of altered my plan for the way it worked out in my first attempt at recording. We'll see if it actually does. So, first things first, we get ourselves units. And generally speaking, when you start a match, you instantly get at least enough CP to call in one unit. So I'll be able to call in a transport for these engineers here. This first group, whoever these guys are, and these guys are going to go for Alpha, more than likely. Although I would personally love to send them to Bravo and have these guys run to Alpha. And I might end up doing that, we'll see. But let's go ahead and start. He's tactical. I don't remember what tactical, generally speaking, uses. I think it's mostly support that they use, so I'll probably have a decent amount of artillery heading my way.
Repeat, Flintlock is go. We have units inbound on DZ. We have uplinks identified on radar. We have units inbound on DZ.
So I'll have Unit 4 run off to Alpha. They should get there in a reasonable time span, rather than have them sit here and wait for Sidecar, who's going to take like 5 minutes to get here.
Moving out.
So I'll have Unit 4 go secure Alpha. In the meantime, once Sidecar is available, I'll have Sidecar move up here to Alpha and pick up Poker Face. In the meantime, Traveler is going to head to Bravo and drop off 2 pair, who's going to secure Bravo. After that, they're probably going to go off to Delta. Hopefully Delta will be a reasonably agreeable, I guess,
All rollers factory mint.
to defend.
Fastbacks have traction.
So you guys have arrived there.
All rollers ready for action.
Yep, 4 got there fairly quickly. I might have been able to work that out a little bit better, but whatever. It's fine as is, in my opinion.
This is Traveler. All rollers factory mint.
These guys are going to actually probably head off to Yankee afterwards. Poker Face and Sidecar.
Poker Face here. Securing the uplink.
Yes, sir.
This is Sidecar. In position.
Some gunships. I should be fine for the most part, and I see some infantry there, although I think those might be the generic infantry that spawn. Okay, the enemy is securing Foxtrot and Sierra already.
Reinforcements are available. We have
Gunships.
units inbound on DZ. Check Central Quadrant. Eyes on European Army troops.
Are those gunships actually moving towards me, or no? It looks like they're just standing there.
Check Alpha. We have secured it. Reinforcements ready to deploy.
Kit that up for Force Recon, because I want to try and get some out
Check
there.
Foxtrot. Hostiles have taken it.
We're gonna move these guys down towards Yankee.
Yes, sir. On the double.
Check Sierra. Uplink secured by hostiles.
Some generic infantry, and there we go. Now their gunships are moving up.
Eyes on Cheetah gunships.
My guys are gonna. These transports of mine are probably gonna be the ones given the job of dealing with those gunships. There's a boatload of enemy infantry around Delta, but I've also got a boatload of infantry around Delta as well, so
Force Command. Your code's authenticated.
sort of fair.
This is Poker Face.
This is Adder.
Oh,
In position and
okay.
Check Bravo. Uplink has been secured.
Was not
We
exactly
have units
expecting
inbound on
gunship
DZ.
or
Units
transports
entering the
down
battle space.
here. So I wasn't gonna bring in tanks for a little while.
Coming on, dude.
On the double, copy. Poker Face
You guys
here.
move up there and
Ready to
support
roll.
them. Unit 6, I want you to
Double
get
time.
your arse
Got
up
it.
here quickly.
This is Mamba.
Unit 7, I want you to move up there as well. Unit 6, I want to get eyes on
This
you
is
again.
Adder. All Eagles flying high.
Unit 3, you're gonna have to go and deal with those gunships for me, personally.
Engaging the enemy.
Affirmative. Engage.
Keep it up! We're killing them! On the
Unit
double,
3, you move up here. Unit 2, I want you to walk up to Delta. Unit 8, I need you to drive on down to Yankee.
Ready to roll. Force com confirmed.
I'm gonna force recon around Yankee as well, in fact. Fire your missiles. Unit 3, what are you doing? Focus on those gunships.
Engage hostiles, yes sir.
Engaging hostiles.
5, I'm going to send you just a little ways north of Yankee.
This is Traveler. We got a kill, sir.
This is 2 pair.
Yep, you guys are still making your way to secure
Center
Delta.
quadrant. Eyes on marksman artillery vehicles.
Okay, Unit 6, I need you to move over, change of plans, deal with those.
2 pair here. Artillery fire in our position.
Center quadrant. Hostile eliminated.
Engaging the enemy. We got a kill, sir.
Okay, it looks like those transports decided
Check south
to
quadrant.
head off to
Eyes
Delta,
on
in
AMZ
fact.
26 infantry fighting vehicles.
This is Mamba.
Which is not actually what I had expected.
This is 2 pair. We don't have
Which
any
is the
cover
reason
here,
why I
sir.
set my tanks down to Yankee, because I thought they were going to go for Yankee, but they went for
Sidecar
Delta.
here. We're in position.
Affirmative. Straight
So I
arrow.
need you guys to
Check
figure
Unit
out
2.
the fastest
getting
route there,
burned.
which is going to be coming up behind the enemy. You
They're
guys.
eating us up.
Check central quadrant.
Unit 5, move to Yankee.
If we don't get some cover,
Check Unit 2. They're in trouble.
we're gonna die if we don't get some cover.
Check Unit 2. I've requested extract.
Adder here.
This is Bedpan. Inbound to extraction.
Traveler here. Let's go to
Get
work.
some
We
artillery.
have units inbound on DZ.
Don't exactly expect
on
for them
Panther
to
tanks.
prove too easy.
Roger that.
Oh, tanks. You guys can deal with
They're
those.
dead.
This is Mamba. On the double.
Sidecar here. In position.
Roger. We'll comply.
Adder here. 2 eagles down.
This is Thunder. Mamba here. Hostiles in range. Opening fire.
Traveler here.
Southeast quadrant. Eyes on European Army troops.
This is Traveler. They're killing us.
Check Unit 3. Suppressed by enemy fire.
Mamba here.
Check Unit 6. They'll get shredded.
This is Hook. Spartans are good to go.
This is
Okay,
Traveler.
that's the route you're going to
Let's
take.
go to
Unit
work.
6 was taken
Check
out.
Unit
I'm not
6.
too surprised by
I've
that.
requested evac. Check Delta. Uplink secured
Unit
by
4, secure Yankee.
They're at risk.
This is Litter. Inbound to extraction.
U.S. Army units defending position.
Force com, Rogers.
Couple force recon on Delta.
This is Bedpan. Evac successful. Heading home. Thunder here. Hostiles are taking hits. Mamba
Unit 7 moved back in there.
This is Thunder. That is a kill. Yes, sir. Letting loose. This is Litter.
1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I had to answer the phone.
Starting our attack. This is Basket.
Damn it.
We are outbound.
Hostile neutralized.
Unit 8, deal with those. Unit 7, once you're done dealing with
Check
those
Zulu.
infantry there.
Hostiles have taken it.
This is Stratcom. Use of kinetic strikes authorized.
Transports prepped to deploy.
I won't be doing that.
That is a kill.
Eyes on
I
Hailstorm
will.
strike fighters. Check Sierra. EMP spike on the way.
Drop an EMP on that.
Evac successful. Heading home.
Check Yankee. It is secured. We have units inbound on DZ. We have units inbound on DZ.
Roger. Ward the fastbacks. This is Basket.
Okay, game, don't rotate the camera like that, please. It's kind of an annoyance when you do it that way.
Magnum here. Hostiles in range. Opening fire. We should really
Transports fueled and ready to deploy.
This is Bedpan. Pioneers deployed. Affirmative. Blasting. Mamba here. Opening fire. This is Poker Base. Ready to roll. This is Thunder.
Okay, I'm not sure if Foxtrot has any real defenses around it, but I'm gonna have to go up there and take it anyway.
Check central quadrant. Hostile destroyed.
This is Loki. Fastbacks are good to go.
This is Blackjack. All squads vertical.
This is Mamba. Affirmative, engage.
You go ahead and help them out. Those guys are in the building now, and so once these guys' exploding shell is ready,
We have multiple units ready to deploy.
I'll probably end up firing it. It's supposedly effective against buildings, so...
Yes, sir.
Okay, 1 second again. Okay, sorry about that. Had to answer the phone yet again.
This is Blackjack. All aboard and ready to roll.
Sidecar here. 2 rollers left. We're all banged up.
Check central quadrant. Hostile destroyed.
Let's get these guys where they need to go. On the double.
We have multiple units ready to deploy.
Get these guys out because they're not going to do well if they're sitting in there. Personally, I think the fast attack vehicles
Eyes on
might be the
Enforcer
bigger threat.
Grenadiers.
Yes, sir. Copy that. Roger that.
Check Unit 4. Bad engagement.
This is Sidecar. All rollers wrecked. Send evac.
Check Unit 5. I've requested evac.
This is Bedpan. Inbound to extraction. This is Pokerface. We're out of the fight, sir. Requesting extraction.
This is Scoop. Inbound to extraction.
So those guys got taken out, but
On the double.
I can deal with this fairly easily.
Handles here.
Actually, Unit 7, change of plans, don't do that. Somebody's moving up here. What are they? Engineers.
Engage hostiles. Copy.
In position and holding.
Oh, they're going over to Delta, I'm sure. So let's force recon on Delta.
Force dispatched.
Roger that.
This is Scoop. Survivors loaded. We're outbound.
This is Bedpan. Survivors loaded. Outbound.
East quadrant. Eyes on Cheetah gunships.
Oh, 7. Move up here and support them, please.
This is handled. All rollers running smooth.
Check Unit 8. They're outmatched.
Mamba here. Opening
I know
fire.
Unit 8 is outmatched, but I need them to keep on doing what they're doing.
This is Thunder.
Whether they're in position to do it or not doesn't matter.
Handles here. On the double.
This is Bedpan. Evac successful. Heading home.
Oh, damn it. I was just about to have them use
Check
their
Unit 8. I've ordered extraction. Eyes on Panther tanks.
high explosive shell.
Bedpan. Inbound to extraction.
This is Scoop. We're bringing your man home.
Check central quadrant. Hostile destroyed.
Oh,
Check Unit 7.
dagnabbit.
I've requested extract. We have units inbound on DZ. We have units inbound on DZ. Units entering the battle space. We have units inbound on DZ.
Okay, sir. It's your call. Blackjack here. Securing uplink.
Oh my god. 1 second. Okay, now I'm sure saying this is probably going to ruin it, but hopefully I don't have to answer the phone yet again.
This is Scooter. Pioneers deployed.
This is Bedpan. Survivors loaded.
Oh, I completely forgot about Unit 3.
This is handled.
We have multiple units ready to deploy.
This is Flycar. We are outbound.
Magnum here. Hostiles from range. Opening fire.
This is Odin. Prospects ready to roll.
Hostiles in range. Opening fire. This is Loki. Work contact extraction. This is Yellow Cab. All rollers good to
Okay,
go.
now I could have sworn I heard somebody say this is Odin,
Evac successful.
but I don't see anybody who has that name, so I don't know where the hell that came from.
Bumps like
so much stuff they're throwing in my direction.
We have multiple units ready to deploy. Hostile neutralized. North quadrant.
There we go.
Hostile
Quickly,
eliminated.
get over here. I need you to deal with those tanks.
This is Handles. One roller fireball. This is Boom Slang. Hostiles in range. Opening fire.
U.S. Army units
Okay,
defending
move up a bit
position.
closer, please.
Let it slide. Yes, sir.
Check Delta. Uplink has been secured.
Okay, now I need you guys to GTFO and spread out.
This is Handles.
Hostile neutralized.
Magnum here. We're hurt. This is Handles.
That's why I needed you guys to spread out.
Splitter. Inbound to extraction.
Well, they knocked out a ton of their units themselves, so I think we can consider this a
Units
fair
entering
trade.
the battle space. Units
They're
entering the battle space.
Basically crippled for a
Yes, sir.
while.
West quadrant. Eyes on Enforcer combat engineers. Units entering the battle space. We have units inbound on DZ.
Oof, yeah. Oof. That kind of hurt, to be honest. You guys can fire on them, can't you? Oh, they disappeared. Of course they did.
This is Splitter. Pioneers deployed.
Oh. Engineers over there. Are they within range?
Survivors loaded.
No, they definitely aren't within range.
We have multiple units ready to deploy.
Oh. Fire.
Opening fire. This is Magnum.
This is Loki.
Unit
Last
7,
bags are
move
good to
up.
go.
Also, are you guys even hitting them? I would say technically you're not, but I get the feeling that to a degree these shots are kind of for show. Let's move you guys down towards Foxtrot.
Yes, sir. Understood.
This is
Oh, I've been brought down to the crappy guys, it seems.
We have multiple units ready to deploy.
Look at these. I've got frickin' new recruits that are being sent out there to fight.
Magnum here.
Okay, Magnum, what are you doing?
This is Crusher. Destination reached. This is Crusher. All rollers running smooth.
This is Sidewinder. In position.
Now, you guys should be able to deal with whatever is at Foxtrot, because last time we were there was basically nothing. Now, of course, the enemy could very easily have now fortified the area more,
East quadrant.
but
Eyes on
I'll
key
take the
defenses.
chance that they
We have
haven't.
multiple units ready to deploy.
This is Crusher. All rollers running smooth.
Which it looks like they are dropping units, well, not actually dropping units off, but they're sort of driving in that
Check central
away from
quadrant.
that area.
Hostile neutralized.
Walk in the park, sir.
I don't think your HESH shells are going to do much, but just use them anyway.
Check south quadrant. Eyes on
Oh,
Badger
what's
IFV.
this? Oh, the transports. Turn back around. Deal with those.
Scoring hits, sir.
We have multiple units ready to
Artillery?
deploy.
We got a kill.
You can deal with
sir.
them as well. Yeah, 5.
Yellow cab here.
I need you to drop your units off.
This is Crusher. Starting our attack.
Just drop them off right there. That's fine with me.
Check unit 10. They're getting burned.
Oh, Unit 10's being burned. Literally or figuratively?
This is Crusher.
This is Yellow cab.
Okay, Unit 3, I need you to move up there, please.
Yellow cab here.
Secure that uplink. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Falling
Okay,
back.
Unit 5,
Check
need you
Unit
guys to
7.
move around.
They'll get shredded.
This is Sidewinder. We're all gonna die here. We need evac.
Check south quadrant. Eyes on Panther tanks. Check unit 10.
Need more
They're outmatched.
gunships.
Flush here. We are capturing the uplink.
We have units inbound on DZ. We are running low on reserves, sir.
Okay, Unit 4 is indeed securing Foxtrot, apparently. It certainly doesn't look like it, but they are.
Handles here.
According to the game, at
Running
least.
smooth. This is Magnum. Opening fire. Handles here.
You guys are gonna have to move up there.
Ah, they're dead.
Check Unit 5.
I wouldn't be 100%. I wouldn't be too sure about that, my friend.
Eyes on European Army troops.
This is Yellow Cab. We can't take much more.
In fact,
We're done. We need evac.
Check Unit 10. Suppressed by
Screw
hostile
it.
action.
Coordinates received.
This is Yellow Cab.
we don't need anything in that area.
Survivors loaded. Outbound.
This is handled.
Our units have already been evacuated from there. We can call it a job well done.
Boarding evac. No survivors.
This is handled.
Check Unit 4. They're getting
Damn, the
rattled.
tanks got... Oh, no, the tanks weren't even in that area. Never mind.
On the move.
I was about to say, damn, the tanks got away, but then I remembered, oh, wait, they
Hostile
weren't actually
destroyed.
within really the effective range.
Evac successful.
Kill those if
Heading
you
home.
can.
Check South Quadrant. Hostile destroyed.
I want them as dead can get.
This is Grinder. All rollers are running.
If you can, please kill those. I don't think you will succeed in doing so, but I would love for you to do so if you could.
Eyes on Enforcer combat engineers.
Blaze 'em up, boys!
Check Foxtrot.
See some more
Flank
tanks.
has been secured.
Somebody sounds upset, I guess. I don't know.
No problem, sir.
Speaking German, I think. I don't speak German, I'm afraid, so you're on your own.
Affirmative. Engage.
Engaging hostiles.
Roger. Moving.
Eagle down. Eagle down.
Hostiles
Yeah,
deployed.
the enemy's at a bit of an
Eyes on
advantage over there
EC-220
because I
gas
think
fly.
they might have better tanks, or at least ones that overall have more experience. My guys, not the most experienced. It's sort of concentrated on the first couple because I don't, generally speaking, need to call in all of my gunships, so not all of them have experience. Which means not all of them have all the upgrades that I've purchased.
That's a victory, sir. Chalk one up for the good guys. Sleep tight, Eurotrash. After action report for your review, sir.
Wow, Major, really? You're gonna call him Eurotrash? Oh, and that looks like a nice little screenshot. I kind of wish the press escape to continue thing wasn't there, though. But I'd be able to make a kind of nice screenshot like that. That looks nice. I'll do it in post. Because I don't know if I have my screenshot button actually set up properly. It should be F10, but I don't think it's... I'm not sure if it's set up properly. So rather than risk it, I'm just not going to try. But let's go ahead and press escape to continue. So we got a C. Took too long, I think. No? 15 minutes? That seems about normal. So we just got a C for shits and giggles, I think. Oh, 3 units killed in action. Damn you, Europe! Yep, Blackjack, Handles, and Crusher were all killed in action, which I think means that they start over from scratch, experience-wise, which is not exactly something I'm interested in needing to deal with. He got better base compensation than me. Even though he lost, like, pretty much all of his units. He didn't really make much use of his force recon and airstrikes now, did he? It's kind of interesting. If I was him, I'd be spamming those every opportunity I got. Let's see. It is far more important to be able to hit the target than it is to haggle over who makes the weapon or who pulls the trigger. Okay.
We're updating your strategic display now. Here's how the week shaped up for us.
Please give me Ramstein.
We didn't mess around in Western Europe.
Still took a beating. Yes! I got Ramstein. Suck it, Europe.
Eastern Europe gave us trouble.
Yeah, lost Istra. Oh well, that's a shame. Wasn't really important anyway.
The global heat wave is being blamed for the forest fires currently raging in the western states and the Amazon.
Well, shit. So, I have the option of defending Vlor or Valor. I don't know. I don't recall which it was. Which isn't necessarily the most important, but I do kind of need to defend it. Otherwise, I'll have to fight at Fort Levski in the near future. But I've also kind of got to defend Ramstein Air Base. That way I get to have air support over Europe, which is always a nice thing to have. But if I defend Ramstein, I should be able to go and actually attack Paris following. But, of course, again, bit of an issue, because I need to defend Ramstein so I have air support, and to block the Europeans from having it, in theory. Although I think capitals might also provide support anyway, so that may not actually be helpful. But I also need to go and take Lecito so I can block off their force recon. But that's 2 turns there. 2 turns is enough for the Russians to take Vlor and then Fort Levski. But I really do need to defend Ramstein. If I'm lucky, however, defending Ramstein just once will make it to where the Europeans are incapable of attacking it again for long enough for me to make sure that the Russians don't get Fort Levski, and maybe then proceed to push back against the Russians to regain some of the territory that I recently lost. But let's pull up our objectives real quick. We need 6 more territories. If we look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I can just take out the Europeans, I win the game. Now, I want to say it's not very likely, in my opinion, that I will be lucky enough to do that, because, of course, attacking Lecito causes me to lose Ramstein and Valor, or whatever the hell it's called. So I gained 1 but lose 2. Not exactly a good trade-off. I can defend Ramstein but lose Vlor. I think that's a decent trade. One's actually useful, the other is pretty much worthless, because I don't mind defending Fort Levski 50 times if needed. I prefer not to, but I could theoretically do it if needed. But let's go ahead into the barracks. Oh no, actually, I think they're gone. Oh no, Handels is there, okay. Oof, I was worried there for a moment, actually. I was like, wait a second, did they actually knock out Handels completely to the point where I understand they were killed in action. However, I appear to be missing an engineer. Oh, damn you, game. You gave me Handels back, but not the engineers. So now I've only got as many transports as I do engineers, which is not exactly great. Though, granted, generally speaking, when I lose transports, I also lose the same number of... I lose the infantry they're supporting, or bringing up anyway, so it really doesn't matter, I guess. Okay, so let's go ahead, check out upgrades for our gunships. Give them fire control radar. But that's it. I can only give them attacks now. I can go up to my tanks. Increase the range of their Hesh shells, which I used every so often in that last battle. The first time we've had them at our disposal. But I've also got defenses I need to sort of give them as well. My combat transports, I can increase their attack range, which isn't necessarily bad, but I can also increase their shielding, which could be useful. Increased accuracy for engineers I don't think is necessarily the most useful, and I don't really care for planting minefields, because I don't really use them. I don't think any of their abilities beyond the first are really useful, for at least my playstyle. At least so far. I could easily be proven wrong because of something that happens later. I don't use riflemen, so it's kind of worthless for me to bother with those. Artillery could be useful, but I don't really care for the defense on them. I care more for their attack. I think that's overall their most useful thing. But of course, I need to also upgrade my battalion as well. Care more for the airstrike, I think. Especially since I can't get the upgraded Force Recon. Also, should be noted, you need, I believe, 2 areas set up for Force Recon to be able to call in Force Recon 2. So for Force Recon 3, I would need, I believe, 3 uplinks set up for Force Recon. If you look in that battle, I only ever had 1 set up for Force Recon. Because of that, when I called in Force Recon, all I got was a fast attack vehicle and an infantry. If I had upgraded a second one to Force Recon, I would have gotten that same thing, but with 2 tanks as well. But because I never did that, I didn't get that advantage. In this case, if I get Airstrike 2, which I haven't had the opportunity to use airstrikes for a while because I just haven't gotten any air bases. Now I finally have an air base, so it might be useful getting my airstrikes up to speed. So let's go ahead and do that. I don't really care for electronic warfare. I've never used it, even when I played the game on console. It just, to me, never really seemed to be useful, personally. Let's see. That's worthless. In this case, I could only ever really care about the ability to call in an unarmed UAV. Preferably, of course, later get a UAV that can do attack missions. But ability 4 is worthless to me. So we'll get ability 2 so I can get a UAV out there so I can find the enemy positions, especially from our artillery, whom, if I had just 1,000 more credits, I'd be able to get the missile barrage. But I can't do that, and I don't have the resources necessary to really upgrade anything that I think is useful. So we will, it appears at least, be sitting on our arse with just under 9,000 credit or 900,000 credits. Because defense is worthless, I think, for our artillery, because realistically speaking, they shouldn't be in the fight anyway. If they are, something's wrong. So, yeah, and same with this guy. He shouldn't be in the fight anyway, so if he is, something's wrong. And he doesn't really need mobility because he doesn't move at all. So we're going to sit here with a fairly hefty number of credits to use next time. And as you can see here, ability 2 would allow me, for riflemen, allow me to deploy them anywhere on the battlefield. If those were engineers, that would definitely be useful for me, but because they're not engineers, it's riflemen, it's not too useful for me. And notice it also costs 6 command points rather than the standard 4. And if you're losing, 2 is the standard number of command points needed to call in any unit. And I'm not sure if it continues like that for the rest of the match if you lose, or if you start losing. I don't recall if it keeps that decreased command point cost for the entire match. But either way, in theory, this should then go down to 4 if I'm losing. But I don't know if it actually does. Either way, I don't think it's necessarily the most useful. Oh, and this could be useful. Potentially, but I don't use riflemen because I don't have a need to. Though I might need them in the attack on Paris, because Paris, well, it's Paris. It's a capital. It's got tons and tons of buildings. I think Paris actually might have the most buildings out of all of the maps here. But don't quote me on that. I don't actually know for certain. But I'm going to actually hold off on buying any upgrades because I don't think any of the other upgrades are really all that useful for me. So we're going to save and exit. And we're going to hold on to our just under 900,000 credits.
The global heat wave is being...
And we're going to save over this battle that was originally for Fort Levski. And And that's going to be it for this episode. As always, like, favorite, comment, subscribe, share, and I will see you guys next time. But until then, goodbye and farewell.